Hello. We have a lot more of my vinyl collection to go through, and I actually want to get through the rest of it because I want to reorganize it. I want to alphabetize it. That'd be fun. But if I alphabetize it now, because I haven't been alphabetizing it for the first few videos I did, I'm going to be like totally lost and confused and disoriented. So we'll just have to blast through that stuff. But in the meantime, I have this horrifyingly large stack of recently purchased vinyl. Now, this isn't as insane as it seems. This is like when I say recent, I'm saying like past 3-4 months, something like that. But it's too much, and I'm very irresponsible with money, and I'm working on it. You gotta buy things because you love them, but also to fill the yawning void. So we'll find something else to fill that. That's not a sandwich. It can't be a sandwich. Okay, I've been down that road. But let's get into this embarrassingly giant pile of recently acquired vinyl. The first one here is the new Smile record, Cutouts. I really liked both Smile records this year. They came out with two this year, and I think they're both pretty much equally good. Like maybe I liked Wall of Eyes a tiny bit more just as an album experience, but this one is like I would say even more like a little more high energy, a little more entertaining. Uh, this band is basically look it as a gatefold. This is basically Radiohead. I mean it's Tom York, it's Johnny Greenwood, it's Radiohead because Radiohead hasn't released an album in a long time. This is what Tom and Johnny are really, focusing on right now. And in the past, Tom York's like side projects, they've been like fine, like Atoms for Peace and the Tomorrow's Modern Boxes and stuff. His first solo album was fantastic, The Eraser. But since then, you can tell he's been saving his best stuff for Radiohead and doing more of the niche kind of fringe stuff on his solo records and in side projects. But this Smile stuff is absolutely on par with the recent Radiohead stuff. And I think, for all intents and purposes, it is present day Radiohead. It's like Robert Pollard when he broke up Guided by Voices and he started Boston Spaceships, and then that became the outlet for his the top tier songwriting he normally would have saved for GBV, to the point where Pollard, looking back on it, said that he should have just called Boston Spaceships Guided by Voices and had it be a new version of Guided by Voices, because he'd radically switched up lineups before, and the music was of a high enough quality to be Guided by Voices music. But I digress. The Grizzly Man soundtrack. This was a cool thing to find. I found this at my favorite record store in the area. They have a website called Vinylgram, I believe it's called, but that's not what the store is called. But yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack by Richard Thompson, who's an incredible guitar player and a great songwriter too. But I mean, this is instrumental music, but it's yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. Very relaxing to listen to, despite the fact that it's a movie about a man being eaten by bears. Um, Evil Urges, one of my favorite My Morning Jacket albums. I remember when this came out, I hated it so much that I was like actively angry, because like Z had come out before this, and I had like totally fallen in love with Z, and it had become like one of my favorite albums ever. And when they came out with this, I was just like, what the fuck is this? Or we're fucking around here. Like it's like, I felt like I got ripped off. Like my money was like, you know, I should have, because I was a kid when this came out. How young was I? I don't remember. I don't know, 16, 18, I don't know. The point is I was broke, and if I bought a CD in a given week, that was my big expenditure for the week, So when I bought this and it was like fuck around time with like fucking peanut butter pudding surprise, I was really mad and disappointed. And then I listened to it a few more times and I came to like really love it a lot. Like it's really eclectic and all over the place and goofy, but that's what makes it really endearing to me. Like I don't know if it was like Stockholm syndrome but it's just like they're just like jumping between genres on this. Like almost every track is like feels like a different genre, different angle, because you got that big grand atmospheric stuff like Smoking from Shooting, and you got, kind of like hard rock, kind of metal pastiches like Remnants and Aluminum Park, and I'm Amazed, which is like, anthemic Southern rock, and, whatever Highly Suspicious is, like the title track's like soul music, like, I don't know. It's a really fun record, and this is, they released good records since this, but they were never this interesting again, in my opinion. Rough and Rowdy Ways, the most recent Bob Dylan album. And this package is pretty cool. Gatefold again. And the individual sleeves have the single artwork on them. So you got this fantastic artwork for False Prophet, and you've got the one over here for I Contain Multitudes, which looks, slightly less cool, but still cool. And both of these discs come on gold vinyl. There it is, with a nice gold Columbia label there. Yeah, and I think I can't give this album a higher compliment than, this is one of the most legendary songwriters and artists that's ever been and ever will be. And it's hard to imagine, an album like summing all of that up. But I think if this turns out to be Bob's last album, and I hope it's not, but if it turns out to be, it'll be a great encapsulation of his career and a great way to cap things off. And, it takes a very special record to satisfyingly cap off a career like that. And Elvis Costello, Punch the Clock. I've recently been going through Elvis Costello's discography. I think I'm up to the 90s now, so I still have a long way to go. But this was it got like mixed reviews and stuff. I thought this was like one of the most purely enjoyable records so far. I mean, Shipbuilding is absolutely incredible. I've always really loved that song, and Every Day I Write the Book is just the super super fun single. And it's just a very energetic and fun and cool album. I like it a lot. Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, and I got this for like $10, $11, and then I saw a better looking copy of it the next day at a record store for like $4, and I almost bought it out of spite. But spite isn't a good reason to buy things, But I was a little pissed at myself, But gatefold. And I mean, the real news is this fucking incredible album cover, which I should really go through and do an in-depth analysis of this album cover because there's so much going on. Maybe we'll do that soon. But yeah, I think this is my second or third favorite Elton John record. No, it's like Goodbye Yellow Brick Road would be my favorite, and then I think this or Madman Across the Water. I forget how I ranked them, but they're all like right there. This is a great one. This is one of the more autobiographical releases, and Bernie Taupin, makes it about both of them, autobiographical toward both of them, because he's writing about their early partnership, and when they were starting out, and unsuccessful guys becoming successful and what that was like. So it's a really interesting and endearing album, I think. And Late for the Sky by Jackson Browne is one of my favorite albums of the 70s. I mean, I think, There are only 8 tracks on here, and I think all 8 of them are fantastic, especially the title track and Fountain of Sorrow and Before the Deluge. And of course, it has, maybe my favorite usage of a song ever in a movie that's shot of Travis Bickle watching TV while Late for the Sky plays in the background when it goes into this like huge grand chorus, and it's just like this fascinating juxtaposition. It's like that moment blows me away every time I watch that movie. Oh God, do I want to do this one next? I kind of want to save it. No, I guess we'll do it. This is the greatest purchase I made recently, the one I was the most excited about. This is The Rainbow Children by Prince. And once again, you got the wraparound art there. And you got the gatefold there. And this vinyl is actually it's clear. Yeah. So that's nice. But yeah, I mean, this is my favorite Prince record. And no, it's not my favorite Prince record. It's my second favorite Prince record. I'm sorry. A lot of the time when I was listening to it, I was like, is this going to be my favorite? But in the end, you got to go 1999 just because of the joy it makes me feel. But yeah, this album is bananas, and it's not that easy to come by, based on my experience at least. So when I saw it for a good price, for cheaper than I could get it on eBay, I was pumped. This it's like an album of like infinite complexity. There's so much going on. It's one of those records you can hear something different every time you listen to it. It's a concept album about being a Jehovah's Witness, which I think is something that loses some people. I'm fine with it. And it has like a creepy, evil Darth Vader narrator voice, which I think some other people don't like, and I'm a fan of the creepy Darth Vader voice, as I would be in any other context. And yet, this record is just so complex and so alive, and I think it's honestly one of the great artistic achievements of his career. It's like incorporating like kind of jazzy stuff in there, and it's a timeless record. I think. I mean, I think just from listening to this, it's very hard to tell. You wouldn't be able to like pinpoint a year. Like I know exactly when this came out. I think, very forward-thinking guy could have made this, like 80 years ago or something. I don't know. It's like this beautiful fusion of old sensibilities with like new experimentation. And I know I'm like going on and on and on, and just babbling, but it's so good. It's so good, and I'm so like thrilled to have this in my collection and just in my house. I showed this one recently, Wild God. I did a whole review of this album. This was a very powerful record for me. And I won't say any more about it because I already said a lot about it. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful album. Tobin Sprout, demos and outtakes. This was like a limited edition vinyl run from Tobin. And Tobin, if you don't know, if you know the early Guided by Voices albums, if you know like B-1000 and Alien Lanes and Under the Bushes, Under the Stars, and Propeller, Tobin was kind of the secondary songwriter in the band. So he would get, like 3-4 songs on an album, and they would be fantastic. And he's gone on to have like a solo career, and he's like nowhere near as prolific as Robert Pollard, but his level of quality is very high. Do I have that over there? No. Do I have that anywhere? No, it's somewhere. But somewhere I have, a bound book of his last album, Empty Horses, with all the lyrics and paintings too. He's a painter. In fact, I have one of his original pieces of art right here. It is the shark repellent bat spray from Batman 1966, and this is again, along with the Rainbow Children, one of my most prized possessions. And it is signed on the back. But yeah, Tobin's great. Tobin's great, and there's a lot of cool stuff on here that's hard to come by. I finally got Pet Sounds on vinyl. You gotta have Pet Sounds. It's one of my favorite records of all time. I don't think I'm being controversial with that one. Go back in the fucking sleeve. Okay. Yeah, check it out. And this was like, remastered with some kind of kilobytes of RAMs or something. I don't remember. But it had a hype sticker on it that made it sound fancy. And, I had to buy Pet Sounds eventually, so I might as well just, bite the bullet. This I haven't even opened yet. This is the new Robyn Hitchcock record. It's mostly a covers record. With some great songs that were originally released in 1967. That's kind of the concept of the album. And he wrote a book to accompany this too that I'm really excited to read. But it's, like A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. You've got Burning of the Midnight Lamp by Jimi Hendrix. You got Waterloo Sunset by the Kinks, which is one of the most beautiful songs ever written. See Emily Play by Syd Barrett, from the... I think the second Pink Floyd record, Saucer Full of Secrets, the early one. And then A Day in the Life, which I've seen videos of him performing solo. I don't know what it's going to be like on here, but the covers I've seen him do of it have been great. And he also has one original song on here, Vacations in the Past, the title track. And I really should fucking open this because it's colored vinyl. I mean, that's why I was like a sucker to buy it, because I can't resist colored vinyl. All right. If I open this with my teeth, are you gonna think less of me? Where do I get a good vantage point on it? If I scrunch the corner. This is wrapped very well. It's impenetrable. Do I have my knife? I don't have my knife. Do I have my keys? No, I don't have my keys. How do you maybe I'll just like paw at it a little bit. There we go. I got a corner. It's coming off. All right. Everybody calm down. Calm the fuck down. All right. Okay. Throw it on the floor. Clean it up later. Okay. Here it is. This is the first time I'm seeing it. This is the first time you're seeing it. There he is. He's young. He's standing in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, which is a nice bridge. I've seen that bridge. And there's the yellow vinyl there. So that is lovely. I'm very happy to own that. And I'm sure I'm going to love the record because I love Robyn Hitchcock stuff and I love a lot of the songs on there. So I'll listen to it very soon. Blue by Joni Mitchell. This is another one like Pet Sounds that I felt like, I have to own it at some point. And it also came with some hype sticker about how they, recalibrated its cerebral cortex or something. I don't fucking know, but they made it sound really good. It's got the gatefold, but oh my god, the fucking record just fell out of the sleeve. Well, there's the gatefold. It's just the lyrics, nothing too fancy. And then here you got that nice old-fashioned Reprise label on there. And this just like violently flew out of the jacket and onto my desk. 13th Floor Elevators live. I got a good price on this, and I love the 13th Floor Elevators. I wish they'd survived for like more than 3 albums, but they were a fantastic kind of psychedelic garage rock kind of jug band. You're Gonna Miss Me, their most famous song, but also, I've Got Levitation and Roller Coaster, and it's fun. It's fun. I like it. This is a random live Elton John record. I don't know if this is even a good record. I think it came out in the 80s, which makes me nervous, but it has, well, maybe not, because all of these are 70s songs, and this is a great lineup. I mean, Skyline Pigeon, which is my favorite Elton John song. I'm sorry. Border Song, which is gorgeous, and Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding, and Rocket Man, and Benny and the Jets. Like, it's like hit after hit on this. So, how bad can it be? I don't know. What the what? What is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, I think this was like a single that I picked up for really cheap. Yeah. It's a single for Stevie Wonder from Secret Life of Plants, Seeds, a Star, Tree Medley, Power Flower, Black Orchid, and Outside My Window. I mean, I got to get Secret Life of Plants itself at some point, but this was just a cool, little collectible doohickey, and I'm very intrigued by that record. I enjoyed it very much. It's not the kind of thing you're putting on all the time for like super casual listening, but it's a very compelling record, and Seeds of Stars, great song. All right, um, more blood, more tracks. I also own the alternative record store day version of this with all the alternate takes, but this is further alternate takes from the Blonde on Blonde. Oh my god, fuck. Blood on the Tracks. I don't think this is called Blonde on Blonde. That was just my brain dying. Um, but yeah, I mean, Blood on the Tracks is probably my second favorite Dylan record after Desire, I would say. This is a 5-star record, basically a perfect record. Idiot Wind is my favorite song. I mean, particularly the version on Bootleg Volume 3, but, I'll take any version I can get. Is it on Volume 3? Is it on Volume 2? It's on Volumes 1 through 3. They're a set. I'm fucking up. But yeah, this is great. This is great. I love that album. And finally, I got Dreamin' Wild by Donnie and Joe Emerson. There was recently a biopic about these guys, also called Dreamin' Wild, by my favorite biopic filmmaker, the same guy who made Love and Mercy, the great Brian Wilson biopic. His name is Bill Poland, and he made a movie about these two guys and about their them starting the band as kids, and then them later on in their life when they got rediscovered and started playing some shows, and all of the nice moments and all of the tensions that led to. And it was just a really beautiful movie. And I found the music, pretty pretty fascinating. I mean, it has this kind of homemade feel to it, where it's like it's like really strong songwriting, but also there's that homemade kind of edge to it that just it just introduces a little X factor that just makes it really intriguing and interesting. Um, Also has Gatefold, yeah, and super cool record and super cool movie. If you haven't seen the movie, please watch the movie. And my mouse, my mouse flew onto the floor. So I'm gonna go look for my mouse so that I can end the video, and then I'll trim the part of the video that is happening while I look for my mouse. Because I don't know if I can stop the video without my mouse. I mean, if I press the space bar, will that work? If I press the space bar. Oh my god, it's an update. Look, I found the mouse. There it is. And I looked for this for like a good 5 minutes, and then I just like kind of gave up, and I was just like, well, let me put my vinyl away, and like if I reduce some of the clutter, maybe it'll be easy to find. And halfway through the vinyl stack, in between Joni Mitchell and Tobin Sprout, was the fucking mouse. Like, I don't even really know how that's possible, but that's where it was. So I don't know.